Hi, Steph. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hey everyone, I am Stephanie Wong. I am born and raised in San Francisco. I went to school at UCLA and have been a California native my whole life. And now I'm at Google Cloud as a developer advocate, where I create online content for developers. In my free time, I'm a dancer, I kiteboard. I'm currently in Hawaii right now, and yeah, loving life.
What is the Miss Chinatown USA beauty pageant?
So the Miss Chinatown USA Beauty Pageant is something that I entered in 2016 when I was about 23, but it's been around since 1948. It was called Miss Chinatown USA 10 years after that, but it's the longest standing Chinese pageant in the country, and it's been around for over 60 years. Mainly because, there wasn't a lot of representation for Chinese American women in the pageant community. And we wanted a way, well, the founders wanted a way for us to celebrate our heritage and the beauty of being Chinese American in this country. And it's actually in San Francisco every year. Now it's extended, so people from all over the country enter every year. And the winner gets to be an ambassador for the community for that following year before they can crown the next winner. And the whole community is a part of it. So they have sponsors and contributors from the Chinese Chamber of Commerce is the main contributor and sponsor for the entire pageant, but we also have contributors from AT&T and other companies that want to, be a part of this long-standing tradition.
What made you decide to enter at the time?
Yeah, so I have always known about the pageant growing up, just from watching the Chinese New Year parade every year in around February and seeing the winner, sitting up in the limelight on her own float and everything. And that always intrigued me. I was always proud of being Chinese, but never took the stand to enter the pageant. I never considered myself a pageant girl per se. And then once I graduated from college, I started working for a couple years at Oracle and realized that I had some time and the resources to do it at that point. I thought, might as well just try it because I'm never going to get the chance, once I'm in my 30s and it's past the age. And so decided to enter just for fun.
I'm curious, what was the criteria for entering in?
Yeah, so you have to, of course, be partially Chinese at least. And besides that, I think it's under age 24 or 25 is around that age limitation. And then there's a bunch of other random rules, like you weren't married before, you don't have kids, small things like that. And then once you enter, you go through an application process, they review it. I think I actually went in person and did an interview with the Chinese Chamber, did a couple questions, did a quick walk back and forth. But for the most part, they allow many different types of people to enter. You don't have to have a specific physique to enter. And then you have to come with a talent portion, a qipao, which is the traditional Chinese formal attire for women, and then an evening gown, more Western style. You have to be able to speak about yourself. This pageant doesn't have a platform per se, like other pageants where you have to come with a voluntary or philanthropy platform that's your cause that you're representing, but you do have to be able to answer questions for the question and answer round, which can surround anything like current events or talking about yourself or your impact on the community, the environment. There's a different theme every year that exists for the pageant.
What was the competition like, and what were you judged on?
So overall, the pageant took around a process of maybe 2 months or so. You apply during November, December timeframe, January, you start preparing. And then by the end of January is the pageant week, which is 2 weeks long. And so the first day that you arrive, you get to the hotel, you meet everyone, you immediately start practicing each of the portions. So you have a choreographer that teaches you the opening segment, how you walk out for the talent portion, how you walk out for the qipao portion, the formal attire, and the question and answer. And then meanwhile, through this first week, you're also doing a bunch of community events where you're going to different banquets and dinners and lunches, and you're meeting community members and leaders. So it's a really crazy week. I remember a lot of the girls that week were not eating that much oily food, and they were kind of avoiding eating a lot because they wanted to, look good in their dresses. So it was pretty hectic. And then I remember my year when I was practicing my talent the day before the pageant, I had my aerial silk rigged and I couldn't get up on the aerial silk like I could in my rehearsals prior because the silk was a completely different silk that I had been used to using. So I had to call my coach, and she came in person and helped me kind of maneuver or think of a different way to choreograph the piece so that I could get that move right. And then the day of, all your adrenaline sitting in, and it's the most nervous I've ever been, literally in my entire life. And I get on stage and I just channel that adrenaline into determination and a huge smile on my face. And I'm able to get past that move and do the entire performance and choreography and landed it with no issues. But then, right when I ran off stage, I was like, I think I'm going to be sick because I had, my throat was really dry. I was breathing really hard and I almost threw up off stage, but nothing happened. And it was just a moment of relief and excitement, and all the girls around me just like cheering me on. So it's a really supportive environment, but it's just something that you'll remember forever, for sure.
And what was it like to find out that you won?
Oh, it's just exhilarating because I was really nervous because when I won, so they call out Miss Talent first. And so when I got that, I was really excited. And then they started to call the fourth runner-up, third, second, Miss Chinatown, San Francisco, first runner-up. And so at that point, I was like, I probably didn't win anything else because they've called like 4 other things so far. So I was like, either I didn't win anything and I got Miss Talent, which is fine and exciting still, or I won the whole thing. So my heart was like beating like out of my chest. And I remember my grandma was sitting in the second row along with my aunt, and I could hear them both yelling like, number 4, like the winner's gonna be number 4. And I was like, just like, oh my gosh. And yeah, they finally called it out, and they called out my name, and I was like,
Testing number 4, Stephanie Wong. 雙料冠軍才藝小姐，同時亦都獲得呢一個全美華埠小姐嘅冠軍。Congratulations, Stephanie！
This is crazy. I've never done a pageant before, did not expect to win at all. So at that moment, I was just in complete shock and bliss, happy at the same time. And, I did my walk where I'm waving to everyone, everyone's taking photos. And from that moment on, I felt like a lot of things changed because, I was in the local newspapers. I got to do a lot of events after that in the community, went to many association events after the pageant week had ended, and represented as Miss Chinatown USA in various community events. It also led me to do Miss Chinese International 2017 in Hong Kong and Malaysia. So it really opened the door for me to continue to see myself as someone who could perform at that level and be a pageant person that can still also be talented, break through stereotypes, and be extremely proud of my heritage moving forward. So for me, it was a very pivotal moment.
What tips or advice do you have for someone who might be interested in entering in Miss Chinatown?
Yes. Well, first, my advice is to just do it. Like, apply. You might think that you're not fit for it. You might think that you're not a pageant person, but just apply, whether it's pageant or whatever, any kind of endeavor that you are thinking about. Take the risk and do it because you never know what will come of it. That's exactly what happened with me. And it completely uplifted and changed my life, right? So I would say take the risk, do it. I think if you look at it more as an opportunity where you'll learn, you'll put yourself out there, and you're gonna be comfortable with the uncomfortable, then you really can't lose or fail. I think the one thing I learned through it is even if I didn't win, I met incredible women that I became close with for now at least 6 years. And if anything, it taught me how to be confident on stage and take that to the profession that I have now, which is presenting on video, right? So I think my biggest advice is to take the leap of faith and to get out there, do your best, and don't see it as a competition. See it as an opportunity for you to gain a new set of friends and make memories that are going to last forever. Sounds cliche, but I really do think it's true.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for sharing about your experiences.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on your show.